Good morning, peeps. Got some good news and bad news today. Bad news first. Bad news is my oldest son is officially 16. He got a job, which was the deal before he was allowed to have a car. He had to have a job so he could pay for insurance and gas. He's got a job, he's got money, he's 16, so that means he can now drive. And you're like, Jeremy, why is that bad? Well, it's bad because that's, if you have kids, you know that's like a very scary moment in any parent's life. I know how I drove when I was 16, like a dumbass. So it's a little scary. The good news is I'm giving him my old truck so he has something to drive, which gave me the perfect excuse to buy myself a new truck. Hold on. So I bought this guy right here. This is a 2020 Chevrolet Silverado Trail Boss 6.2 liter Midnight Edition. Good Lord, that's a big name. I got it used, it's new to me, but I found it for a killer deal, a 2020, and it only had 2,600 miles on it. So, I mean, shit, to me that's a new car. So I'm super pumped about it. Thinking it's gonna give us a good opportunity to do some cool new content on the channel, starting with today. As much as I love the majority of the stuff about this truck, there's a couple small things that we're gonna handle today that need to be resolved immediately that cannot stand. So that's what we're doing today. So let's go get in the truck and get going.
Arrived.
So we are here at, let's see, Muffler City to try to rectify one of the problems with the new truck. Love the new truck. It's fantastic. Love everything about it. There's only two things that I have not been crazy about right from the rip. One, there's no tint on the windows. No tint. In Florida, cannot have that shit. Second problem that we have is this thing's got a 6.2 liter V8 in it, and because they have 95 different mufflers and catalytic converters and resonators on this thing, it makes zero noise. I mean zero. Let me see if I can show you some of this stuff actually. There we go. Okay. So over there, you can't really see it. Can't get up under. There's a catalytic converter up there. Then back here, you have a like 50, well, I think it's like 42-inch huge ass muffler. Then around back here, what they've done is they put a resonator on each at the end here. So to recap, you have a catalytic converter, huge ass muffler, two resonators. Way too much exhaust on this engine. It's choking it up, it's keeping it way too quiet. So these good folks are gonna cut some of this shit off for me, and we're gonna try to clean this thing up, make it sound more like a truck. Give it a little growl, give it a little bite. So, how's exposure? We're good. All done. And what we ended up going with was it's called a V-tube. I went in there and I was gonna get a Flowmaster Super 10, and the guy that worked at the shop had recommended this one, said he'd put it on a lot of the Chevys and had gotten some real good results with it. So, trusted his experience with it, and that's what I went with. Plus it was a little cheaper than the Flowmaster because you're not paying for the Flowmaster, but it's still a V baffled style exhaust, which is very similar to what Flowmaster uses. So I think it sounds great. I'll give you guys a full listen to it once we get back to the house, and I can put you around back and let you hear it. But those guys were great. They knocked it out in like an hour. I was there in no time. They got me in and out. So if you guys are looking for an exhaust in the Jacksonville area, I highly recommend Muffler City on Sunbeam Road. So definitely check those guys out. They did a great job. And I'm not saying that because they gave me a free exhaust or anything. I paid full price. That's just, I thought they did a good job and they were super nice and knowledgeable. So anyway, but yeah, I think it sounds good. interior, it's just about what I wanted. I cut the flapper off and I left the resonators on the back because I didn't want it to drone too bad in the car. I wanted it to have a little growl. I wanted it to sound like a truck, but I didn't want it to drive me crazy. He said that if it's not loud enough and I'm not happy with it, that I can come back and cut those resonators off and that'll make it even louder. But so far what I'm hearing, I think this is good. It sounds nice. It's got a nice little growl to it, but it's not like super obnoxious when you're in the car. I'll give you a little what it sounds like in the truck. I'm at like right over 1,000 RPMs. This is what it sounds like. I mean, you can hear it, but it's not very loud, not anything that's gonna bother you, nothing you can't hear your music over. I'm trying to give you guys a sample of what it sounds like if you get on it a little bit. It's a little difficult at the moment. Stand by to stand by. All right, so this is at idle, just cruising along, barely audible, and then I'll get on it. Not sure how much of that you guys can pick up through the mic and everything, but sounds good. When you're just cruising along, barely audible, and when you get on it, it sounds like a truck. Gives a little growl, a little meanness. So far, so good. I like it. All right, exhaust check. Got that whole growl going. Tim the Tool. You know, do you guys remember Tim the Tool Man with the growling and the Do you remember? Am I dating? I'm dating myself. Anyway, stopped by the house real quick. Had a little bit of time before the appointment to get old Black over here tinted up. So thought this would be a good opportunity for us to stick a camera up under there, let you guys see the exhaust work they did, get a good shot of the muffler and all that. So if it's something you guys are interested in doing, got an idea what's happening under there. Also, I wanted to get a little shot from behind the truck so you guys could get a good sound of what it sounds like outside the vehicle. So we'll get into that. Right now, I'm trying to stop sweating because Florida is 9,000 degrees. Everybody else starting to get a little bit of a break. September, weather's starting to cool off, getting nice weather. Florida, still a swamp. It's swampy. Anyway, let's check out underneath this truck. All right, we can actually see under here reasonably well. That is what they replaced. So up there in the very front, we got two cats. I didn't touch those. We left all that stuff factory. Then where you see the shiny pipe all the way to there is what they replaced. So that's the new V-tube that they put in there. And that is how much extra pipe they had to put in, because that's how much space that huge ass muffler that was in there took up. So that's basically what it did. They custom bent some pipe, V-tube, and then like I told you before, I left the resonators back here in the back, so we didn't mess with those resonators. All right, I got the little decibel meter sitting right there. I don't know how accurate that thing is, but we're gonna see. I don't know if you guys can read it. If not, I'll blow it up in post so you can see it, but see what it does. Okay, so that is the flapper and muffler cut off, V2 put in its place, and the resonators and the cats left on there on a 6.2 liter Z71 Trail Boss Chevy Silverado. That's a really long name for a truck, but anyway, that's what it sounds like. So if you guys are curious, if you have a similar truck, if you have a Chevy or another V8 that may sound very similar, that's what it sounds like. I think it sounds really good. The only thing that still bothers me a little bit, and I think I could fix it, is not the fault of the exhaust, is these new Chevy Trail Bosses, and I think all the Silverados have this dynamic fuel management system that turns on and off cylinders to get the best gas mileage. So when you need it, you're getting all 6.2 liters of V8. But when you're just barely cruising along and it doesn't need it, it switches off cylinders to get better gas mileage. Problem with that is when it does that, sometimes you get, I don't know, it's not bad, but it's not the best sound out of the exhaust, right? Sometimes you get a little bit of like some people describe it as like a helicopter noise. It's like a wop, 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 wop kind of thing. What a lot of guys have been doing, what I've been seeing online, is there's a box, kind of like a reprogramming chip thing that you can get. I forgot the name of it now, and it allows you to turn the dynamic fuel management system off, which is what I think I'll do. I want to go up to my Chevy dealership and talk to those guys. On the website that sells the device that I'm talking about, and I'll link it down below if I can remember the name of it. On the website, they claim it does not void warranty because it doesn't change the actual tuning or computer settings of the car. It just literally turns off the fuel management system. If that's the case, then I'm definitely going to do that. I really don't care about losing a mile or two of gallon of fuel efficiency. I would rather have V8 all the time and not have the exhaust do the weird thing, and I don't know. I would just rather turn that off. Plus, there's some other cool things you can do with it. You can turn off the auto shut off thing all the time. I don't know. There's just some computer settings you can tweak with that upgrade. So that might be something I'll do on the channel at some point if the Chevy people say it's not going to void my warranty. I also want to do a cold air intake. I think in general, exhaust cold air intakes do not void warranties. But being this is a new truck, it's only got 3,000 miles on it. Actually, a little under 3,000 miles on it. I definitely don't want to do anything that's going to void my warranty. So we'll figure that out. But there is going to be some cool truck stuff coming in the future, because if I do that cold air intake, we'll do a video on that. If I do the chip, we'll do a video on that. I'm going to ceramic coat this thing because I really want to take care of the paint on this. My red truck, the paint got destroyed sitting out in the Florida sun, so I'm going to really try to polish this thing up and put a ceramic coating on it to really hopefully make sure that the paint lasts and holds up, and the old Black Beauty looks as good as long as she possibly can. So we'll see. So maybe some cool content on the truck coming up on the channel. So let me know if that kind of stuff interests you. We do cigars and whiskey and knives and EDC and barbecue. Why not throw some trucks in there, right? All right, so enough talking. We're gonna go to the tint appointment now. Got an all black truck with no tint on the front windows, and it's crushing my soul. I've always tinted all my windows in my cars. It's Florida, it's hot as hell. Really helps, and I think it just looks better being all murdered out with the black rims and all the black windows and just the whole just zero dark 30 look going on. And speaking of all murdered out, let's take a quick second to thank the sponsor of today's video, Ridge Wallets. Guys, you have heard me talk about Ridge several times on the channel because let's get real. If you're still carrying around the old Costanza wallet, the big old thick bifold that you put in your back pocket, and when you're riding in your car, you're laying like this because it's this thick, you gotta get yourself one of these nice Ridge. All black murdered out, matches the truck. They got them in tons of different colors, so depending on what you're carrying today, I've got the Malibu and the shard carbon fiber version from Ridge Wallets. Looks really good with what I got rolling today. And I'm feeling the all black today because the truck, midnight edition, got the wallets to go with it. But they're great wallets. They're really high quality materials. You can get them in just about any finish you want. They've got a lifetime guarantee. I really like the design. They are as minimal as you can get for a wallet. I mean, they are exactly the size of a credit card. Tiny, tiny wallet. So perfect size for that super minimal front pocket carry. It's got a nice place in the back for you to carry a little cash. If you got a little place here, you just push out, get access to your cards really fast and easy. Holds up to like 12 cards, which is more than you'll ever need. Let's be honest, if you're carrying 12 cards, you can just simplify your shit just a little bit. Just narrow it down. 12 cards is a ton of cards. Really, really cool stuff. So tons of options, really good quality, super minimal, lifetime warranty. I mean, come on, man. That's why I keep having them on the channel. I love these guys. I think they're great. And just for my peeps that watch the channel, the good folks at Ridge have offered us a little special. You're going to click the link down below. You're going to enter code SIRES at checkout to receive 10% off and free shipping worldwide. So nice little deal to get a banger of a front pocket wallet. Stop getting sciatic nerve pain carrying around that big old bulky ass thing. Do yourself a favor, switch over to a nice and sleek, minimal Ridge wallet. All right, folks. Well, it's hot. We need to get this tent situation worked out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hear that new exhaust? Oh yeah, that's good stuff. Well, let's get rolling, go to the tint place so we can get these windows squared away. All right, we have arrived at First Coast Window Tinting. My wife just got her windows done here and they did a really good job, so I am patronizing this establishment to get the old windows tinted. The truck's all black and it's like the midnight edition, so the tailpipes are black, all the decals are blacked out, everything on the truck's black. And then the back windows come factory, somewhat tinted, but then the fronts have no tint. So with all the black, it just looks dumb. It doesn't look good without it all being black. My arm all day yesterday driving around my truck was like on fire from the sun beating in my window with no tint. So got to get the windows tinted. I'm getting 5% all the way around. I don't think 5% is completely legal. It's so hot here and the UV tears up cars so bad that I've been getting my windows tinted since I was 16 and I've never had an issue with anybody giving me any grief over having the windows tinted. Now, I did have a guy in Georgia pull me over one time, but then when he saw I was from Florida, he ended up giving me just a warning and letting me go. So I feel like in general in Florida, they don't get too harsh on you unless, you know, you're doing something stupid in the first place. And then, well, if you're doing something stupid, you're asking for them to give you some shit. So I'm actually getting the window tinted the windshield tinted this time also, which I know sounds weird, but they tint it with a very light tint. So it doesn't really affect your visibility at all. But what it does do is knock a little bit of that glare down and also protect your dashboard from the UV. I know in my old Silverado that I had, it was real hammered from sun damage. So hopefully this will correct it. All right, guys, we're gonna be here for a couple hours, so we'll get this thing knocked out and we'll check back in.
The storm is coming, but I'm prepared. I hope I'll see you on the other side. I know that I'll be paying for the ride into the black hole. Sing for my soul through the black hole.
Oh yeah, baby. That looks so much sweeter. You can see or not see in the car anymore. It really goes much better with all the black on this truck, the black rims, the black everything, but everything is all blacked out. I mean, you can't have a midnight edition all blacked out truck and then have a big old clear spot in the window that you can see through. That is just no bueno. And even that windshield, even though it's really light, it just makes the whole thing look so much more murdered out. I mean, man, that looks pimp. I am extremely happy with that. The guys at First Coast Tinting were super nice, by the way. Really good job. Looks awesome. Great guys. And again, I didn't get a discount. I'm not saying this because I got free tint or anything. I paid full price, but I always like to support small businesses when I can, when I think they do a good job and they know their shit. And the guys at First Coast Tinting did a damn good job. So if you're in the St. Augustine, Jacksonville area, want to get some window tint, definitely suggest checking these fellers here out. I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but from the front, that front window looks dark, right? Like, you can't really see in the front window very easily. From the inside, see? Now that's my side window, dark, right? Because I get the 5% tint. But the windshield, you can still see through fine. It's a very light tint, but it cuts down on the glare from the sun, cuts down on glare from headlights at night, and it's got the UV protection, so it really cuts down on the heat that comes through and that sun from beating your dashboard up. So I don't know, you should definitely look into the whole tinting your windshield thing. I think I'm going to love it, but we'll give you updates as things go. All right, I'm gonna sit here and finish this cigar for a minute, drink some of my coffee, and then we're gonna get on the road back to the house. Some of y'all don't listen at all. Same shit, they be We are back home from all the errands. It's been a productive day. We're in a good place with Big Black. I think that's what we're gonna call the truck, Big Black, in honor of Big Black from Rob and Big. Wasn't Rob and Big was the show? We should call the truck Big Black. Don't you think? It's big and it's black. Is that a problem?
I don't know. It's not very creative.
That's hurtful.
Don't put me on there.
The wife. We've got the exhaust handled. Sounds awesome, I think. Got the tint done, thank God. Because damn, in Florida, that's a necessary evil. We're home for the day. I got a cigar. We got some. Hold on. Got some tri-tip on the Traeger. It's a nice evening. I think it's time to sign off. All right, ladies and gents. Well, thanks for hanging out today. Hope you guys found it entertaining. I will link anything pertinent down below as always. If you did enjoy this video, feel free to smash that thumbs up button. That always helps us out. If you're not a subscriber, please consider doing so. We'd love to have you on board. I hope everyone is having a fantastic week.
See you in the next video.
Oh, nailed it. All right. Lucy, do you want some of that steak over there on the Traeger? Lulu, you want some steak? How about you, Winston? You want some steak? What? You look guilty. You look super guilty. Why do you always look guilty?